Evening, everyone, at 6:45 on Monday, and this is your closing comment. It is video number 1791 for this Monday afternoon, and the chart on the screen is the oil. And I want to make a couple of points here. First of all, we're right back to the 200-week MA. This has been an area, as I mentioned in last night's letter, this has been an area between 63 and 65 and 83 and 85 where we've been locked into this, really with the exception of these few weeks since the fourth quarter of last year. So we were down today, and for the most part, it was no international news. It was Goldman Sachs talking about the price for oil. They were lowering their price. I mentioned this this morning in this morning's pre-open. But beyond that, I don't really complain or argue with what these companies put out. But that was the same Goldman Sachs that up here at around 120 was talking about $200 oil. So again, I don't really put a lot of credence in that. What amazes me is the incredible stupidity of the current administration, and as it turns out, going back to the Obama administration. And I'll tell you why. This was on the Dow Jones Newswire. It was sent to me by a subscriber and friend at around 2 o'clock today, and I'll read it to you. The Biden administration continues selling crude to the commercial sector of the nation's strategic petroleum reserve, even as it announces that it started buying back to refill the SPR. I know it's crazy, but welcome to the world of government, said Price Futures Phil Flynn regarding the odd overlap. The DOE said in its preliminary report this morning it sold another 1.9 million SPR crude barrels last week as part of a mandate set by former President Obama in 2015. Okay, give me a break. I don't like to swear on these, but what the is going on with these morons? It's just unbelievable. So here we are back at the lows again, or the recent lows again, at an area where it's probably going to start back to the upside pretty quickly. So what can I say? Okay, in other futures today, it was kind of a tough day. The oil, as I said, was down about $3. It's up 28 cents tonight. Nat gas was actually up. Gold was down about 7.5 after Friday's decline. The silver was down about 35 cents. Gold is up $2. Silver is up about 9 cents. The coffee broke again to the downside today. It's not in free fall or anything, but it is 181 and a half, and I've been pointing out this bear flag that we've been in for a while. We've broken out of it to the downside, rallied back and collapsed again, and tonight 181 and change down again. So we'll have to see. So down almost 3% today, which is, pretty ugly. And unless you happen to be Starbucks and you raise your price every time it goes up a dime and you wait until it's down $10 to lower. if in fact you ever do. The dollar was up about 10 cents today. The bonds were down about 3/8 of a dollar, and Bitcoin broke below 26,000, closed 25,890. As far as stocks go, I'm going to be real short with you. We had earnings after the close for Oracle. Oracle making new all-time highs both um, was a big beat both top and bottom line. Gave good guidance. The stock had already gone from 110 to 116.43, up 658 before the close. After the close, when the earnings came out, it actually got up as high. Let me just make sure. Got up as high as 122.87. The last is 120.58. That's up 1073, or about 11%. Carnival Cruise also making new recovery highs at closed 1476. That was up $1.67, or 13%. Don't get too excited about this one. While I brought this up between airlines and the cruise lines, all they tell you is how great the bookings are. In the meantime, uh, the stock has doubled back here to 14 after coming down from 72. So 72 to $6.11, $6.11 up to 15.10 today. Can go higher, but again, um, major dilution on the issuance of stock, mortgaged their entire fleet, and took in massive amounts of debt. So, that's why it's a $15 stock instead of a $60 or $70 stock, because things are just so great in the cruise business. Okay, we also had budget today. Kind of interesting. You know how they keep on talking about how they're cutting the budget and etc. The budget deficit for last month was 240,380,000. Pardon me, 240.38 billion, not million. And that compares with 66.2 billion deficit the month before. So, you know, they can say what they want, but basically they're full of crap. Okay, tomorrow, early morning, we have NFIB, Small Business Optimism Index. We also have CPI and Core CPI. Um, the markets were pretty strong today, but I just want to point something out here. The NYSE, which was up almost 200, advanced declines 1 to 1. NASDAQ, again, up 200 and change, 1.53%. Advanced declines 1.5 to 1. Volume 4.7 billion, which is actually a little high for right now. And what was interesting to me was, even though the Dow, the NAS, the S&P, the Russell, and the transports were all up, so was the VIX. So, not really sure what that portends. I have a feeling it's not great. And frankly, we're so overbought. Uh, it's almost ludicrous to even consider being a buyer in this area. All right, folks, I'll be back tomorrow morning, first thing.